Welcome. In front of me I have the HONOR Choice Watch 2 Pro, and I'll be going over unboxing along with a quick look at the watch, build quality and specifications, and give you my thoughts and opinions along the way. Now, even though the branding right here seems kind of a little bit scammy with the HONOR Choice, for some reason HONOR, the actual brand, chose this name. No pun intended right here. For a moment there, I thought that this is some kind of, knockoff that is trying to get away with like naming something HONOR by adding choice to it, but it's literally on their website. So anyway, let's just get straight into this. Inside, we get the watch right away. There we go. In this very Apple-esque design. There we go. So it's turning on, and anyway, below that we get our cable. Okay. Why is it below? Anyway, so we get our cable right here. And then on the other side we get paperwork, and well, that's about it. Now the cable itself is a magnetic one. Let's see how well it attaches. Oh, definitely not this way. Oh, yeah, that's a pretty strong magnet. That's not like super strong, but it's, I would say, doing the job fine enough to easily attach it here to charge it. I don't really need to be that precise with it, it just plops on there. So anyway, that's pretty good. Strap wise, feels fine. It feels a little bit thin, though I feel like it's kind of weird in terms of how to describe it. Something about the weight of this entire watch along with the strap makes it feel super light, but I think it's fine-ish. Minus this right here, obviously, that is very stretchy. So obviously that would kind of be potentially a little bit problematic. But when you put it under, I think it has a little bit more kind of resistance from the rest of the band. Anyway, one more thing to talk about the band while I'm here. This is going to be, come on, can I press this? There we go. So you can see this is kind of more or less proprietary one with these little hooks. So you won't be able to use any kind of watch strap, for instance, like I have one right here. Unfortunately, I do genuinely like when smartwatches have a typical, straps that you can use from any other watch, as that just gives you massive versatility. When you have things like this with these proprietary clips, usually you need to get these kind of like plastic conversions, which then make it from that clip to a normal kind of lug kind of thing, and that just adds additional dimension to the watch, which I genuinely dislike. So I would really like to see companies move away from crappy little proprietary design into something that watch manufacturers have figured out decades ago, probably more than less than centuries ago. So yeah, anyway, let's quickly go back in here and find the correct language. Oh, there we go, US. Yep, that's the one that I want. So here is the display, and oops. And to go into the display specifications, this is a 1.97 inches in size with relatively minimal bezels. Now, I don't know if I can catch the light somehow, as I genuinely can't even tell where the freaking bezels are. I can kind of see it. Yeah, I don't know if I will be able to kind of showcase this, but these are relatively small bezels for this display, I would say. And the glass that is on the front right here is just titsy bit curved. They are calling it, what is it, like 2.5D glass. So it's curved display. It's barely curved. It just literally has a rounded edge right here. Ends. So it's as curved as something like the Samsung Galaxy A5 used to be back in the day, if you ever had that. So it still adds a little bit of a nicer feeling to the display instead of being like fully flat. But because it is curved, I can already guess it's most certainly not going to be using sapphire, which is always really nice to have a sapphire glass, as it makes it super durable. Scratch resistance here, because it's curved. I can, let's see. Yep, no sapphire glass right here. Just wanted to do a little quick search, but yep, nothing shows up. So, in my opinion, that's a little bit of a downside, as I genuinely like sapphire. Now, contrary to what you might think, the idea of it costing a lot, that for maybe curved one, it costs a little bit more, but let's be honest, these aren't insane prices. You can go to AliExpress, and let's be honest, these manufacturers are most likely ordering any kind of components from China, so that is a pretty adequate place to look for. So let's see. So we're looking at let's quickly load it up. Oh, look at that. So it's about $1, or let's even round it up, $2. Now if you want to get the curved one, like these ones, that will be a little bit more. So it depends on really what you're going for, but it's, I don't know, anyway from like $2 to, let's just say, about $25. So at that price, I think they could have gone with the round one, standard one, and put a sapphire glass, and that would have been freaking phenomenal, adding way more quality or durability to the display than it would have business having. And let's be honest, screens like this on a smartwatch or any kind of watch are usually obviously the first thing that gets scratched. So I love when you have sapphire, which basically protects it super well. That thing is like insanely scratch resistant. So it makes it a great kind of pick for any watch. Now, if we move on, the screen resolution right here is 390 pixels by 450. So it isn't a like full square. It's more of a rectangle. It's also running a 60 Hz refresh rate, obviously, and it's an AMOLED display. That's kind of why it makes it super hard to tell where the bezels are, just because the black background right here just fully off and blends with the bezels super well. But moving on to the specifications right here, the device connects to your phone through Bluetooth 5.3, and it will work with Android 9 and up and iOS 13 and up. And surprisingly enough, one thing that I find very funny is things like these connect to your iPhones, right? But for instance, if you have a Samsung Galaxy Watch, well, tough shit, you ain't connecting that to iOS. Any kind of smartwatch that is running Android OS or Wear OS is not connecting to iPhone, which is just kind of bullshit. I find it to be a bit of a monopolistic move right there, as you can download the Wear OS application on iPhones. It's just iPhone won't really allow you to connect the device. Anyway, let's move on. Inside right here, we got 360 milliampere battery, which can be charged fully out in about 90 minutes. And let's see, does it say how long it will last? Of course it doesn't, because why would it? And try to find this info. It's probably somewhere in the freaking pictures. Of course it is. So it's claiming that it has about a 14-day battery life. Let's see. I'm looking for any info that would specify what kind of mode it would be in. Yeah, it doesn't really claim. So it just says, ooh, thanks to battery working up to 14 days, you don't need to charge it. Like, no shit. Wow, tell me more. Is water wet? So not much info right here. But the general gist, it's about 14 days, which, hey, it's pretty good. We also have 600 nits of brightness on the display right here. And other than that, dimension-wise, which I didn't mention before, is let's see where I just saw it somewhere. Oh, for God's sakes. Or no, never mind. I didn't see it. Just saw the weight. So the actual watch itself, without the straps, weighs about 29 grams. So it is super light. And it weighs about 42.5 grams with the straps as well. Now, build-wise, we have aluminum frame on here, glass back, as you can see, or I think it's not really glass, more like ceramic or whatever, and the glass front. And even though it's using decent kind of components in terms of for durability purposes, the watch itself, like I like the specification even mentions, is relatively light. And furthermore, it is also relatively thin. So you can see this isn't a super chunky watch. It is on a smaller side, but it is also just a bit big. So this is close to almost 2 inches of screen size. And obviously that kind of translates to a bit of a just a tiny bit bigger watch than you might be used to. So just to put that like right here on my small wrists, and honestly doesn't look that bad or that out of place. So yeah, now I have like tiny wrists, let's be honest. So this is still looking pretty good, even though it's a big watch. And I think something about the fact that it's more of a squared design might have something to do with it. So anyway, that's about it. I do want to also kind of talk about quickly about some of the shortcomings. So because this is running their own proprietary kind of OS on the watch, you're kind of limited to whatever the watch comes with. So any kind of sport modes, applications, or support for whatever, that's all you get. So watch faces, it's not like you're gonna download from Play Store, some user created watch faces and be able to apply them right here. If Honor doesn't produce them, you're not really going to be using them normally. Additionally, any kind of applications like Strava or other things for workouts and stuff like that, you're not going to be getting on here, just because the watch cannot install any kind of applications. So yeah, so when you compare it to something like a normal smartwatch, you lose the portion of being smart, as you only get to use whatever is right here. And it's still technically a smartwatch, which again, going back to that portion, find it to be kind of misinformative, because why can't I set it up without a phone? I thought that it's smart. Now, I know we all came to be very kind of accustomed to this bullshit, but let's not, get confused. This is supposedly a smart device. This is a smartphone. I don't need a computer to set this piece of shit up, so why do I need to set up a smartwatch, which is smart, with a phone? What, is my data this important that you're gonna refuse to work without it? Go fuck yourself. I paid money for this. So I generally dislike this, where a watch allows you to set it up without a phone. I honestly automatically have a much more positive outlook for it, because it means that watch is not designed to gather as much freaking data about you and then sell it. As these watches, by requiring you to connect to your phone, that's basically what they're doing. And something about it just leaves a kind of bad taste in my mouth. And I'm generally negative towards crap like this. You can't really call something a smartwatch and then require me to have additional smart devices to use a device that already supposedly is smart. Doesn't seem that smart, now does it? So, like I said, some limitations, and the upside right here is the fact that you have a great battery life. Compared to normal smartwatch from like Android, anything like Samsung Galaxy watches, stuff like that, these get up to like 2 days of battery life. This gets 14. So typically normal smartwatches you need to charge basically every day. This you get to charge, I don't know, twice per month. So it seems like a pretty decent kind of solution if you're not looking specifically for those applications that smartwatch would allow you to have. And generally speaking, from my own experience, I've owned and still actually own Samsung Watch, and I also owned bands, which this is kind of like a smart band, something like Xiaomi one would have been, so it's very similar. And either one of them, I was just using it for a general kind of checking, I don't know, sleep patterns and stuff like that, which was just a gimmick to me, and time. And one thing that I do miss is notifications. Getting kind of notifications show up on your watch from your phone is a little bit beneficial. But the downsides of having to, at least for me, having to track and need to charge my watch basically every day was a little bit annoying. Like I said, I was using primarily the Galaxy Watch, so that needed to be charged basically daily. This doesn't have that kind of problem, but because of the needing to charge my watch every single day, I just went completely the opposite direction into something that is stupid, like a normal automatic watch, which winds itself up. I don't ever need to charge it now. So, it's pretty good if you're looking for a device that is just going to give you decent display. This is a pretty decent display with the generic kind of exercise modes and stuff like that, which you won't be able to expand on further. But for the price that they're charging, which is about $130 US, including tax, by the way, I feel like it's a very fair price for a watch. They're not asking that much for it, and the build quality seems solid. The size seems solid. It's very light, but not light to the point that it feels cheap like a toy. The display is great with a great resolution and size, and even things like the rotating crown right here has a pretty decent kind of steps. Doesn't feel too cheap, too crappy like some devices do. There's no scratchiness to it, so that's also a positive. So yeah, I'm kind of positive about this. Seems like a solid fitness workout device, watch that will last you about half a month on a single charge, I should add. So anyway, with that out of the way, all said and done, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.